Hey guys, it's Mike coming to you live from my backyard. It's a little late tonight, so I'm trying to be a little quiet to keep it down. Wife and kids are asleep. But I had to make this video because I had a camera that I needed to talk about. So tonight's camera, we're going to talk about the Minolta Freedom Zoom 140 date. This is a cool little point and shoot camera that I picked up at Goodwill, and I think I paid $3 to $5 for this one, somewhere around in there. It's newer, it's fancier looking, so you spend a little bit more money on it. However, I bought batteries for it, which cost way more than the actual camera. So I had to buy a 2-pack of the 123 camera batteries, and I got some of these Energizer lithium-ion little 123s, and those things are, I think it was $15 for the 2-pack. So a little bit of shot in the arm when you buy this camera that's $2 or $3, and then you go spend more on the battery than you spend on the camera. But this camera is really cool, so it takes really good pictures. It's got a simple little on-off button here. Turns it on, you see it go in and out. This is also cool. Watch this. Holy crap. So this thing telephotos out a ridiculous amount, and I actually don't even know what the total length is on that. Maybe it's 140? I'm not sure. Anyways, this thing will reach out there. It goes a little further than you would want to shoot with a film camera, especially this type of film camera. But what's really fun about this one is it's really easy to use. It's familiar in terms of the form factor. You just look through the hole, push the button, take a picture. It has a flash. It's got an autofocus area that's insane, so it can pick up a ton of stuff and autofocus on it, and do a really good job. It does an amazing job in low light. So what I did with this one recently is me and a bunch of our friends went out, a bunch of couples went out with for somebody's birthday, and we went to a location. It had a bar and a band and so forth, and I took this camera and used black and white. I took some Ilford just 400 speed cheap black and white film, threw it in this camera, and then went out with flash, turned the flash on, and I shot tons of photos with it. And they're really cool looking because the faces, you know, pop, and then it's real black and blurred out behind the folks in those situations in bars and things like that. So it's also really cool. It's because it's compact. You know, when you have this thing turned off, you know, it's relatively compact. You can throw this thing into a sure, I'm getting attacked by blood down here. Hold on. Oh, make sure it didn't bite me or something. It's really compact. Throw it in your pocket, throw it in a purse, a little clutch or something like that. It backloads just like every other 35mm point and shoot backloads. Drop that sucker in there. I have had it a few times when I dropped the leader in here. I put too much in there, and when you drop too much and you try to force a lot of it around like you would on a regular manual advanced 35mm film camera, it gets hung up for some reason, and it won't process it, but it lets you know. So unlike some other cameras that I've had where I've put film in there, I've heard it wind and do that after I've closed it, and then I shot a bunch of film, and then I got to like 37, 38 shots on a 36 roll of film, and got a little nervous, popped it open, and it hadn't actually advanced ever. Haven't had this problem with this one. This one's really cool because I took it to the beach like 2 years ago. I took it to the beach, threw it in the sand, got sand all over it, got wet. You know, I mean, they're a little bit, they're easy to abuse a little bit and have fun with. But these are cool cameras because you can get really good shots out of them. They're really easy to use. I can hand this to my friends, which I did at the party we were at. I just handed it off and said, hey, you know, take a picture of my wife and I, take a picture of this or whatever. And people really get into it, and they feel really fun about like taking a picture and not seeing it on the screen in the background, and being able to have fun with it. So anyways, this is a really cool camera. If you see these at a you know, thrift store or someplace like that, or garage sale, and they're cheap, just take them, open the battery compartment. This is for any camera that you're buying. that's old, open the battery compartment and make sure that the battery that's in there isn't exploded and corroded on everything. If it's nice and clean in there, which like this one was, it didn't have a battery, they were cool enough to take that out before they put it away. Just make sure those are clean, and because a lot of times if you get corrosion in there from the batteries on these really old cameras, I mean, this is a pure digital play, man. There's no manual, anything on this thing. It's all button pushing. So you take a risk when you buy these things, and you don't have a battery with you. But when I go to stores, I always carry one of these batteries with me, because 9 times out of 10, these little cameras like this, they just don't have the batteries, or they're dead. The people are really cool at the Goodwill and stuff. I mean, if you're gonna buy something like this, they don't care. I mean, you know, who else is buying these things besides crazy people like us? So, anyways, it's cool. You can get the old classic date stamp on your negatives if you want. You can set the date in here. I hate those things, but occasionally it's fun to do that, just like for a memorable date or a memorable picture. You know, throw the classic little date across the bottom that you saw in some of your parents' photos and stuff. So, anyways, again, Minolta Freedom Zoom 140 date. It's important, you know, date. I don't know why that was such an important selling point. Cool little camera. If you pick one up, play with it, have fun with it. Enjoy shooting the film with these things, because you can't really take bad pictures on these things. I've shot expired film, brand new film, black and white film, abused film that has been in my hot truck in a hot summer day in Texas for probably about a week, getting up to like probably 140, 160 inside of my truck, totally getting abused, and then I run it through this thing, and you get cool pictures. You know, the film shows some abuse from it, but it takes really trusty, sharp photos in a lot of really interesting light situations. So pick one of these up and have fun. Keep shooting film, guys, and be awesome. We'll talk to y'all next week.